Please pay respect to the Buddha by reciting Ñāṇadassana 3 times. Ñāṇadassana Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Ñāṇadassana Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Ñāṇadassana Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today I will continue Anapana meditation. In Anapana meditation there are 4 steps. Last Tomato also we already discussed about this. Today again I will repeat. There are 4 stages in Anapana meditation. Number 1 is Dhigava Asasando Dhiga Asasamiti Bhajanadi. Breathing in a long breath. He knows I breathe in a long breath. Breathing up a long breath. He knows I breathe up a long breath. This is number 1. Number 2 is Rasanwa Asasando Rasan Asasamiti Bhajanadi. Rasanwa Basasando Rasan Basasamiti Bhajanadi. Breathing in short. Breathing in a short breath. He knows I breathe in a short breath. Breathing up a short breath. He knows I breathe up a short breath. This is second stage. While you are practicing Anapana meditation, if you focus your breath object on your touching point, at that time you should try to understand. When it is long, you should try to understand this is long. When it is short, you should try to understand this is short. Intentionally, you should not try to make the breath long or short. Please allow your breath in a natural way. Awareness of the long breath or short breath is important. It is not necessary to make the breath long or short. If you cannot concentrate, commentaries suggest to try counting breath. While you are counting your breath, at that time also you should try to understand. When it is long, you should try to understand long breath. When it is short, you should try to understand short breath. Just knowing is enough. But please count. If there are many wandering minds, then it is better to try to note. While breathing in, you should note breathing in. While breathing out, you should note breathing out. Then please count 1. Breathing in, breathing out 1. Breathing in, breathing out up to 8. Please repeat again. While you are counting and noting, you should try to understand long and short breath. If you can concentrate on your breath object more than half hour or about 1 hour, 2 or 3 seconds, then you can stop counting. If you stop counting, you should try next step. Sabhagaya Padisamvedi Asa Sesamidi Sekadi Sabhagaya Padisamvedi Basa Sesamidi Sekadi. Experiencing the whole body of breath. I will breathe in, thus he trains himself. Experiencing the whole body of breath. I will breathe out, thus he trains himself. At that stage, you should train to understand the whole body of your breath. What is the whole body of your breath? From the beginning to the end, you should train to understand your breath. Where it begins, where it ends. It ends on your touching point only. If you fix your touching point on your upper lip, then from that touching point you should wait and see from the beginning to the end. While breathing in, you should try to understand the whole body of breath from the beginning to the end. While breathing out, you should try to understand the whole body of breath from the beginning to the end. Only from one point only. It is not necessary to follow inside and outside. At that time, sometimes you may breathe slowly. That slow breath is called long breath. When it is long, you should try to understand the whole body of breath. Sometimes you may breathe quickly. That quick breath is called short breath. When it is short, you should try to understand the whole body of breath only. So 3 stages combined together: long breath, short breath, and the whole body of breath. Then if you can concentrate on your breath object more than 1 hour or 2 hours, etc., slowly your breath will become subtle, very gentle and very fine. When your breath becomes subtle, at that time you should try to understand the subtle breath only. You should not try your breath to make your breath clear. Please allow subtle breath. If your awareness of the subtle breath is very important at that time. If your breath is not subtle at that time, you should have the intention of Agga. What is the intention? After sitting, before you are paying attention to your breath object, you should decide, my breath must be calm. In this way, you should decide. At that time, you are going to 4th stage. What is 4th stage? Pasambhaya Gaya Sankhara Asa Sesamidi Sekadi. Pasambhaya Gaya Sankhara Basa Sesamidi Sekadi. Calming the breath body, I will breathe in, thus he trains himself. Calming the breath body, I will breathe out, thus he trains himself. This is 4th stage. At this stage, the breath becomes very, very subtle. And then very soon nimitta will appear. What is nimitta? Usually for many meditators, the breath which is coming out from your nostril becomes grey smoking color. There may be other colors also. Color is not so important. The breath coming out from your nostril becomes grey smoking color. That smoking color is called nimitta, if it is unifying with breath. But if it is not yet unifying with breath, then we cannot say this is nimitta. Nimitta is the sign of concentration. Because of concentrated mind, this nimitta appears. So this is the sign of concentration. At that time we can say concentration is developing. But if you can concentrate on that nimitta, then your concentration also will develop further. So because of this reason, this nimitta is the cause of concentration also. While you are focusing on your nimitta, you should try to make sure the breath and nimitta unify together. Breath is nimitta, nimitta is breath. Nimitta and breath same. At that time, you should focus on the nimitta only. While you are focusing on your nimitta, you should forget your breath. Because if you pay attention to your breath object occasionally, then there may be two objects, sometimes nimitta, sometimes on the breath object. If there are two objects, concentration cannot develop further. So because of this reason, when the breath becomes subtle, it is very good. Why? When nimitta appears, at that time you must focus on your nimitta. While you are focusing on your nimitta, at that time breath is crossed. Then you may pay attention sometimes on your breath object, sometimes on your nimitta object. So if there are two objects, concentration cannot develop further because object is not one object. There are two objects. Because of this reason, when the breath becomes subtle, it is very good. If you can concentrate on that subtle breath, then very soon nimitta will appear. But intentionally, if you try to make the breath subtle, then you will become tired. You cannot breathe thoroughly. So because of this reason, you should not try intentionally to make the breath subtle. But before you are paying attention to your breath object, you should decide, my breath must be calm. That decision is enough. This is called abhoga, attention only. But while you are really breathing in, breathing out, at that time, intentionally you should not try to make the breath calm or to make the breath subtle. If you do, then you will become tired and concentration cannot develop. But real calming the breath is when you reach fourth jhana stage. At that time only the breath will be completely stopped. The breath will completely stop when you attain fourth jhana stage. But before fourth jhana stage, in first jhana also the breath becomes very gentle and very subtle. When you attain second jhana, at that time also breath becomes very, very subtle. When you attain third jhana, at that time also the breath very, very subtle. But when you attain fourth jhana stage, at that time the breath completely stops. Only nimitta there will be. So while you are focusing on the nimitta, you should focus only nimitta, not breath. If you can concentrate on your nimitta object more than 1 hour, 2 hours, etc., when your concentration develops further, then great smoking color will change into white color like cotton wool. But when you are focusing on your nimitta, you should not pay attention to the color, you should not pay attention to the form, or you should not pay attention to the 4 elements characteristics. If you pay attention to the color, then color will be always changing when your mind changes. For example, if you want to be yellow color, then nimitta will become yellow. If you want to be red color, then nimitta will become red. If color is always changing, concentration cannot deep. Because your mind is changing different objects. different colors. In the same way, you should not pay attention to the form or shape. If you want to be long, then nimitta will become long. If you want to be white, then nimitta will become white. If you want to be round, then nimitta will become round. In this way, form also will be changing depending on your perception. If your perception changes, then nimitta will be always changing. So if nimitta is always changing, then concentration cannot develop further. Because of this reason, you should not pay attention to the form also. Then another one is characteristic. Hardness, roughness, heaviness, softness, smoothness, lightness. This is earth element. Flowing and cohesion, these two are water element. Heat and coldness, this is fire element. Supporting and pushing, these are wind element. Hardness, roughness, heaviness, softness, smoothness, lightness, flowing, cohesion, heat and coldness, supporting and pushing. These are characteristics of 4 elements. You should not pay attention to the characteristics of 4 elements while you are practicing Anapana. If you pay attention to these characteristics, then it cannot be Anapana meditation. It can be only 4 elements meditation only. So if you want to practice Anapana meditation, you should not pay attention to the characteristics of 4 elements also. In this way, when you are focusing on your nimitta, at the time when your concentration develops further, then nimitta will become transparent and bright. Nimitta from white nimitta will change to the transparent nimitta. Gray smoking color nimitta is called Parigamma nimitta, preliminary sign. White color nimitta is called Agga nimitta, landing sign. Transparent and bright nimitta is called Patibhaga nimitta, counterpart sign. There are 3 stages. This counterpart sign is the object of excess concentration as well as the object of full absorption concentration, jhana concentration. When your nimitta becomes transparent and bright, you should focus on your nimitta only. Then when your concentration becomes deeper and deeper, then full absorption will appear. Full absorption means your mind completely sinks inside nimitta without moving. You should maintain this concentration, full absorption concentration, more than 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. If you can maintain your full absorption concentration more than 1 hour or 2 hours every sitting, 2 or 3 days, then you can discern jhana patterns. If you want to discern jhana patterns, first re-establish your first jhana concentration, full absorption, about 1 hour. As soon as you emerge from your jhana, you should pay attention in the area of your heart. But you must pay attention just for few seconds only, 1 or 2 seconds only. You should not emphasize for a long time. If you emphasize for a long time, your heart will become pain. You may see Bhaddanta mind state. That Bhaddanta mind state is for beginners a little bit difficult to understand. If you understand Abhidhamma, then at that time you will understand clearly. But if you do not understand Abhidhamma, then to explain Bhaddanta is a little bit difficult. According to previous karma, 5 aggregates are always rising and passing away. Among 5 aggregates, there are also 4 mental aggregates. 4 mental aggregates are called mind or mentality. This mind, there are 2 types of mind: cognitive process and process free. Cognitive process means now you are listening mind Dhamma talk. When you are listening mind Dhamma talk, cognitive process and mind-cognitive process are rising and passing away successively for a long time. But sometimes you may pay attention, you may see me, and then the cognitive process also may rise, as well as mind-cognitive process. So, these cognitive process are called Viti Chaita. When Viti Chaita stop at the time, Bhoyanga mind state appear. Again, when Viti Chaita rise again, then Bhoyanga mind state stop. When Viti Chaita cognitive process finish, then Bhoyanga mind state appear. Because of previous karma. Not to cease mental series. If mental series cease, then this is called death. So, not to cease mental series between 2 cognitive processes. These Bhoyanga mind states are rising and passing away successfully for a long time. That Bhoyanga mind state also can produce, mind produce kalabas. If we analyze these kalabas, in each kalaba there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types there is kala. That kala also transparent and luminous. One Bhoyanga mind moment can produce uncountable kalabas. Within few seconds, uncountable Bhoyanga mind moments also can rise and pass away. In the same way, cognitive process also, within few seconds, uncountable times they are rising and passing away. Each mind moment which arises depending on heart base can produce mind-produced kalabas in the same way. So, Bhoyanga mind state also can produce mind-produced kalabas. If we analyze these kalabas, in each kalaba there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types there is kala. That kala is transparent and luminous. One kalabas kala and another kalabas kala combined together, they become transparent element here, like mirror. In those mind-produced kalabas, there is also fire element, Tejo Dhatu. That fire element is called temperature. That temperature also can produce new kalabas, new generation particles. If you analyze these kalabas, there are in each kalaba there are 8 types of materiality. Among 8 types there is also kala. That kala also luminous, transparent. Depending on the power of wisdom faculty which is associated with Bhoyanga mind moment, the transparent and luminous brightness is different. If wisdom faculty which is associated with Bhoyanga mind state becomes very powerful one, then the luminous brightness will be more powerful. So there may be differences between many meditators. Some meditators Bhoyanga mind state is more bright. Some meditators Bhoyanga mind state can produce more brightness, but some do not do like that, depending on their wisdom faculty. So because of this reason, while you are paying attention to your Bhaddanta mind state, you can see this transparent element only. Metaphorically, this transparent, luminous, transparent element is called Bhaddanta, metaphorically only. You should first try to understand this Bhaddanta mind state, Bhaddanta mind. If you can discern this Bhaddanta mind, it is okay. If you cannot discern within 2 or 3 seconds, it is you should quickly go back to your Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta. And then please re-establish your first jhana concentration for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. As soon as you emerge from that first jhana concentration, again you should discern Bhaddanta mind. If you do in this way again and again, then you will understand Bhaddanta mind. If you understand Bhaddanta mind, then you should also try to understand inside Bhaddanta mind transparent mirror, this Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta Abhiya. For example, when you are standing in front of mirror, you can see your face inside mirror. So mirror is another. Your face inside mirror is another. They are 2 different objects. In the same way, here, transparent element mind is another. The Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta, which appear inside Bhaddanta mind, is another. If you can differentiate these 2 objects, and then you can discern 5 jhana phatas. Number 1 is Vidyaka, initial application of the mind to the Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta object. Number 2 is Vichara, sustained application of the mind to the Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta object. Number 3 is Piti, joy. Number 4 is Sukha, happiness. Number 5 is Ekaggata, one-pointedness. That one-pointedness is called Samadhi, concentration. You should discern these jhana phatas one by one first. If you want to discern these jhana phatas, then please re-establish your first jhana concentration for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. As soon as you emerge from first jhana, you should discern Bhaddanta mind and your Brihvaga Nimitta, Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta counterpart sign inside Bhaddanta. At that time, please discern Vidyaka, initial application of the mind to the Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta object. Then, if you can clearly understand the Vidyaka, initial application of the mind to the Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta object, then please try to re-establish your first jhana concentration again. Imagine from your first jhana concentration, in the same way you should discern Bhaddanta mind and Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta, and then please discern Vichara, sustained application of the mind. In this way, entering into jhana, imagine from jhana you should discern 1 jhana phata. Again enter into jhana, imagine from jhana you should discern 1 jhana phata. In this way, if you try, then you can discern 5 jhana phatas one by one. If you can discern 5 jhana phatas one by one, then please re-establish your first jhana concentration for about 5 minutes or 10 minutes. As soon as you emerge from your first jhana, in the same way you should discern Bhaddanta mind and Anapanna Brihvaga Nimitta together, and then please discern 5 jhana phatas together. At that time, you can see 5 jhana phatas simultaneously. For example, here, 5 fingers. You can pay attention this one first, then this one, this one, this one, this one. Then if you are expert discerning one by one, then if you pay attention 5 together, you can see clearly 5 together. In the same way only. Then you should try 5 mastery of your first jhana. Whenever you want to enter into jhana, you should try to enter into jhana within few minutes or few seconds. Whenever you want to emerge from jhana, then you should try to emerge from your jhana. Then another is you should do dhyana, strong determination. If you want to enter into jhana for about 1 hour, then you should do dhyana. May mind jhana concentration last long 1 hour, etc. Then if you can do 1 hour concentration, jhana concentration, then please increase your concentration as far as you can. Another is reflecting jhana pattern. While you are reflecting jhana pattern, if you can discern jhana patterns very, very quickly, this is called Ahojana Vasi and Pishavakana Vasi. What is the difference? The difference between these two reflecting knowledge. If you study, if you discern Nama Kammatthana, at that time you will clearly see. According to commentary's explanation, when you are reflecting jhana patterns, there is one cognitive process, mind-cognitive process. Number one is mind-abiding consciousness, and then there may be 7 or 5 or 6 jhanas. These jhana mind movements, they translate as impulsion. These jhana mind movements also can understand these 5 jhana patterns. In the same way, mind-abiding consciousness also can understand these 5 jhana patterns. If mind-abiding consciousness can reflect these jhana patterns, this is called Ahojana Vasi. If the impulsion jhana mind movements can reflect these jhana patterns, this is called Pishavakana Vasi only. But for beginners, it is not necessary to differentiate these two masteries. If you can discern jhana patterns very, very quickly, it is enough only. Okay. Today I will stop here. You can discuss about this meditation practice.
I have a question. For Anapanasati, we use the breathing in and breathing out air as the object. So can you differentiate, because when people heard about Auk Sayadaw method, you may have practiced that too, and you use the air here and then you use the air in and out. So could you please differentiate when you are going to Nibbana, how you differentiate, because air is used in the both ways, but how should it differ, and what is the advantage of the method that you ask us to use?
Maybe such question is not good. We should not investigate others' method. But according to Visuddhimagga and other commentaries, when you are practicing Anapana, you should focus on your breath object only. That breath must be on your nostril or upper lip. Nasikaka and Mukha Nimitta. This is fixed in commentaries. Nasikaka means nostril. Mukha Nimitta means upper lip. From this point only, you should wait and see your breath. At that time, this is for beginners. This nostril is also called nimitta. Upper lip is also called nimitta. This is for beginners before they are seeing grey smoking, kala nimitta, etc. on that nimitta, you should wait and see the breath. When you are focusing on the breath object, at that time only you can attain anapanachana. But when you are focusing on your abdomen, you cannot see breath. You can see only movement only, or maybe if you pay attention 4 elements, you can see in this area 4 elements only. You cannot see here breath. Can you see? Yes. If you cannot see breath, then you cannot attain anapanachana. You may see here 4 elements. If you practice 4 elements meditation, not only one place, you should try to understand 4 elements throughout your body. This is 4 elements meditation system. So if you practice 4 elements meditation also systematically, then you may realize Nibbana. But if you practice 4 elements meditation in a wrong way, not in a right way, then you cannot realize Nibbana. But when you are practicing Anapana, focusing on your breath object, on the nostril or upper lip, and then when nimitta appear, you can attain first jhana or second jhana and third jhana and fourth jhana. Based on this jhana, if you practice 4 elements meditation, you can clearly understand 4 elements in your body. Why? That concentrated mind can produce strong, powerful light. For example, now this morning also one yogi, one meditator asked me about this. Without jhana also, in time of Buddha, there are many Mahathiras, many bhikkhus who attain Nibbana or who realize, who become Rahats. We call this is Sukha Vipasaka Arhats. Sukha Vipasaka, they translate drying Vipassana. So, pure Vipassana vehicles. If it is so, why you are practicing Anapana up to 4th jhana stage? First jhana also possible, second jhana also possible, third jhana also possible, 4th jhana also possible for supporting cause, for Vipassana. First jhana also can be the supporting cause for Vipassana, second jhana, third jhana, or 4th jhana also can be the supporting cause for Vipassana. What is supporting cause? The jhana concentration can produce strong, powerful light. First jhana also can produce strong, powerful light. Second jhana also can produce strong, powerful light. But the power is not same. For example, the sun also can produce light. The moon also can produce light. Stars also can produce light. Candle light or electronic bulb also can produce light. But the power is not same. In daytime, when sun is shining, if you see everywhere, you can see more clearly. But nighttime, when moon is shining, at that time, if you pay attention surrounding, you cannot see like daytime. Not so much clear. In the same way only. First jhana also can produce light, it is true. But 4th jhana concentration, the light of 4th jhana concentration is very strong and powerful. Because of this reason, usually in ancient time, they practice up to 4th jhana. Based on 4th jhana or maybe 8 attainments, if they practice 4 elements meditation systematically, they can clearly see ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality, both internally and externally. If they clearly understand ultimate materiality and mentality, both internally and externally, at that time they discern dependent origination, paticca samuppada. they can clearly understand dependent origination. Because when they are practicing dependent origination, they must search for past causes. Past causes produce present effects. Present causes will produce future effects. When they are searching for past causes, at that time the light of wisdom is very necessary. When the light of wisdom is not enough, they cannot see past causes. In the same way, future causes also. So because of this reason, usually we teach jhana concentration up to 4th jhana or 8 attainments. Based on this jhana concentration, if they practice 4 elements meditation systematically, they can clearly understand ultimate materiality, ultimate mentality and their causes. Ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality are the noble truth of suffering, dukkha, sijja, dhammas. Their causes are samudaya, sijja, dhammas, the noble truth of the origin of suffering. These two noble truths are the object of vipassana. They are called sankhara formations. These formations, you must contemplate these formations as nature, dukkha and anatta. As soon as they arise, they pass away very, very quickly, so they are nature impermanent. They are always oppressed by rising and passing away, so they are dukkha, suffering. There is no permanent entity, permanent substance in them, so they are anatta, non-self. If you contemplate these formations as nature, dukkha, anatta, such type of contemplation is called vipassana. So to reach such type of vipassana is strong, powerful, the light of wisdom is necessary. Okay.
Venerable sir, the white kasina is equivalent to what jhana? The white kasina is equal to which jhana?
White kasina also, if you practice white kasina systematically, then you get attain up to 4th jhana. But if you practice 10 kasinas up to 4th jhana, based on this 4th jhana, if you go to immaterial jhanas, formless jhanas, it is also possible. You can attain 8 attainments, 8 types of jhanas.
But sir, you can have white kasina at 1st jhana.
White kasina, 1st jhana, 2nd jhana, 3rd jhana, 4th jhana.
Understand the difference between the 3rd stage of anapanasati and the 1st and the 2nd one, because the 3rd one is experiencing the whole body, and the 1st one is long and the 2nd one is short, right? But if you don't experience the whole body, how can you judge it's long or short?
When you are focusing on your breath object on the touching point, from the beginning, here begins, here ends. From the beginning to the end, if you can discern the breath, this is called the whole body of breath. When you are discerning or when you are focusing on the whole breath body, sometimes you may breathe slowly. That slow breath is called long breath. When it is long, you should try to understand the whole body of breath only. Sometimes you may breathe quickly. That quick breath is called short. When it is short, you should try also to understand the whole body of breath. Okay?
So the first one is
maybe
slow breath.
According to the series of teaching, Buddha taught long breath, short breath, the whole breath body. But practically, when you are practicing practically, always long breath must be number 1. We cannot say like that. Always short breath must be number 2. In this way also we cannot say. Sometimes you may breathe slowly the whole sitting, no problem. Sometimes when your concentration develops further, you may breathe slowly the whole sitting. This is also okay. At that time you should try to understand the whole body of breath. But sometimes you may breathe very, very quickly. At that time also you should try to understand the whole body of breath only, waiting from this touching point only.
So that means you have to mentally think beginning of the breath, middle of the breath, at the end of the breath when it is going in. You have to just contemplate or just to be aware.
To be aware. Just awareness is necessary. It is not necessary to know this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end, or this is long, or this is short. Why? If you know in this way, concentration will decrease. Whether it is long or short, if you know the breath continuously without interruption, this is called a nap. This is a nap. A nap means you can concentrate well. If you differentiate whether this is long or short, maybe previously, maybe this breath is maybe long, but not really long. This is maybe long, or this may be short. In this way, you may investigate too much. If you investigate too much, then concentration will decrease. This is one reason. If you know this is beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. In this way, if you know, then you will become tired, and the concentration will decrease. So, in these three stages, long breath, short breath, and the whole body of breath, these three stages, if you know your breath continuously without interruption, this is enough. If you want to know, then you should know breathing in, breathing out only. Okay? Do not understand? Maybe sister will explain to you in Chinese language.
I'm not sure. I think I understand, but I want to check with you also. Is the difference between the first two stages and the third stage that in the first two stages you only are recognizing that it's long and short, but in the third stage you're aware continuously through the breath? But in the first two stages, is it that you don't need to be aware continuously through the breath in order to be able to practice those first two stages?
If you know continuously without interruption, it is very good. In first stage and second stage also.
Oh, okay.
Very good, very good.
But in practicing to attain jhana, okay, we have the objective to make sure that the mind become one point with the object. That is why there are like 40 objects that we can choose, like kasinas and the breathing. But each of the object that we choose for meditation, for samatha, have its own characteristics. Would it be fair to say that for anapana, the characteristic of the object is it always has the in and out, always? So if we ever wonder whether we're losing that object, we just have to note that there's still in and out. And then we know that this is our anapana object. Thank you. So, is it also natural to expect, as we cultivate the one-pointedness or tranquility, that we become more calm, both inside and out? That means even as we're practicing, when we finish a meditation session, our movement and walking and talking also become calmer. We should expect that, no?
We cannot expect.
Not necessarily.
If you try to come, it is better, no problem. You must try. Automatically it is impossible.
you talk about the mind become more powerful as we become more focused. Can we say that the steadiness of the mind, how steady the mind is in terms of being able to focus and sustain the focus, is directly proportional to how powerful the mind is? That means the more we can sustain our thought on the object, the more powerful the mind becomes. And when it becomes more powerful, so the numerator becomes brighter, and the attention becomes stronger, and the power of observation also becomes more powerful. That way. Okay. So the whole development is to basically strengthen the power of the mind, so that with that power of the mind, we can go into vipassana and be able to hold the object that we want to analyze more steady, so that we can see more clearly. Because ordinarily, the change of those objects are too fast for us, because the anicca, the impermanence, it is just too fast without the power, right? So when these days people talk about the dry insighter, the pure insighter, they only develop up to upachara jhana, or is it the neighborhood?
Access concentration.
Yeah, access concentration. So it is kind of the minimum power level.
No. I mean, they have enough parami. In the no Buddha, for example, there are so-called Vipasaka Arhats. They have enough parami. Their intention is they want to attain arhatship very, very quickly only before death is coming. They don't want to waste of time. They want to attain very, very quickly because of their parami is urging them or stimulating them to try hard. When they are practicing pure vehicle vipassana, sukha vipasaka, they begin 4 elements meditation only according to Visuddhimagga's explanation. When they are practicing 4 elements meditation systematically, one day they will see kalapas, called small particles. Our body is composed with small particles called kalapas. Again, they must discern 4 elements in each kalapa. When they are discerning 4 elements in each kalapa, if they can concentrate on those 4 elements object, this is the last stage of samatha, as well as the beginning stage of vipassana. So this 4 elements meditation is both sides, samatha and vipassana. Then they must continue to discern derivative materialities such as kala, odor, flavor, nutritive essence, etc. After discerning ultimate materiality, they must discern ultimate mentality and their causes dependent origination. Then they must contemplate them as nature, dukkha, anatta. While they are practicing in this way, because of their previous parami, their light of wisdom is very strong. When they are practicing 4 elements meditation, at that time also the light of wisdom is very strong. Because of this reason, they can easily discern their past causes. Past causes produce present effect, present causes produce future effect. They can discern cause and effect, past, present and future. So because of this reason, they can attain arhatship. But nowadays, there are some meditators who can practice 4 elements meditation, and they systematically, if they practice, they can realize nirvana. But some meditators not easy. Not easy means especially when they are discerning ultimate materiality. When they see kalapas, their kalapas are not so clear. This is one problem, because the light of wisdom is not so bright. When they are discerning ultimate materiality in each kalapa, they cannot analyze thoroughly, clearly, especially life faculty. Very difficult for them to discern what is life faculties. In each kalapa there is life, especially Gamma produce kalapa, there is life faculty. What is life faculty? They cannot discern within 2 or 3 days. For some meditators, nearly 1 week. They cannot see this life faculty. In the same way, nutritive essence. In each kalapa, there is nutritive essence. That nutritive essence can produce new kalapas. When digestive fire support, nutritive essence produce nutriment support both together. At that time also they cannot clearly understand this nutritive essence. In the same way, bhava rupa, sex determinate materiality. Now you can see this is man, this is woman. Why? Because of this bhava rupa. Bhava rupa can differentiate this is man, this is woman. So according to Buddha's teaching, bhava, sex determinate materiality is in 6 doors everywhere throughout the body. Because of this reason, they can, when they see one person, they can easily differentiate this is woman, this is man. Because of this bhava rupa. That bhava rupa also in small particles, in some small particles, this bhava rupa is always present in the whole throughout the body. This bhava rupa also very difficult to discern. When light is, the light of wisdom is not enough. More difficult is dependent origination. If they pay attention to the past light, nama rupa, present nama rupa also not clear. Then if they discern past nama rupa, more they cannot see clearly. So because of this reason, nowadays some meditators can practice pointless meditation systematically up to Nibbana stage, up to realization of Nibbana. But some meditators cannot do. Because of this reason, we teach samatha jhana meditations also.
Bhaddanta sir, most people cannot even dream of seeing kalapas. Most people cannot even dream of seeing the kalapas because they never practice enough concentration to see anything. So what is the minimum training in samatha to allow a person to start to see the kalapa?
Maybe usually fourth jhana is necessary. But for some meditators, first jhana also possible, but we cannot reach others' mind. So, because of this reason, we cannot say exactly which person should be practiced up to first jhana, this person should practice up to second jhana, this one should practice up to third jhana, this one should practice up to fourth jhana. In this way, we cannot decide because we cannot read others' mind. So, because of this reason, many standard is usually we teach up to fourth jhana stage. But if they want to practice kasinas, the other day we teach 10 kasinas in 8 attainments, 8 types of jhanas.
But that brings me back to the earlier question, because some meditators think that all they need to do is to cultivate enough to the access jhana without going to the first, second, third or fourth jhana. But you said if you don't go to the fourth jhana, you most likely cannot even see the kalapas. And without seeing the kalapas, how do you go into vipassana to see the arising and passing away of the real reason for dukkha? So that's my question. Is when some people say you can, all you need is to cultivate up to the access jhana, and that's all you need. That's my question.
For some meditators, access concentration also can be supporting cause for their vipassana. It is okay, but for some meditators, not okay.
So for most people, if they don't have very strong past parami, it's only a dream then.
Yes, not easy.
Okay. I'm sorry. One more question. In seeing a person as a woman, man, you just mentioned this rupa that allow us to make the discrimination that this is the person, this is so on. In some of the writing, it is also described as compactness, because when we see a whole person, it is compactness and it's a delusion, because that is what gets us into samsara, right?
Maybe.
So, we are trying to break down the compactness to see that this is not a person, this is a bundle of arising color person, dying color person.
No, so, Kalabas, maybe we say ultimate materiality and ultimate mentality.
Yes. Can we say another way is because our mind has been so scattered and losing its power without the concentration to see clearly, that is part of our delusion, and that delusion makes us see things as one clump, one entity, a person, for example, and that is compactness. And so in a way, we are always seeing the forest and not the trees. So are we trying to see beyond the forest so that we can see the trees? And when we see the trees, then we see that this is not really a forest, and we break up the delusion so that we can be free from samsara. Can we say that? Something like that.
Just seeing this ultimate materiality and mentality, you cannot free from samsara. You must try to realize nibbana and to understand Four Noble Truth.
To let go.
Let go.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Is there time for one more question? In practicing the four elements meditation, does each element have the appearance of a sign? Does the sign appear as a vision, and a specific vision, and what is it, if it does?
If you practice four elements meditation for beginners, when their concentration develops, they cannot see their body, they can see a group of four elements only. This is first stage.